Well, yo, yo, yo to the yo, yo, yo. Phew, I made it. Can you believe it? I'm going to be doing something a little different tonight. And you'll notice that over at MxWhat 24/7 CrypTube corner, you'll see the link down below in the description, that on the upper left-hand pane, not only can you spend your whole life over there at MxWhat, but in the upper left, we're doing something brand new, which is going live with my pane in lieu of a playlist. So it should be really cool. You may see me chatting over in the live chat while we kind of get things going on. And I'm also monitoring the Bitcoin mumble because of what is happening in the market tonight. So if you don't mind, let me bring the Hangout down and make sure that it really knows what's going on here with me, and run over to the chart. And because I didn't open up two windows, which I should have done, so now I know. Now what am I going to do really? I could take myself off of screen share for just a bit and manage the MxWhat channel tab. So I may have to do that. But let's first see whether or not we can get me live in the pane, which is really cool. So let me come back over to your channel and let's see what we've got. Let's see what's going on. It's still an article. So let me see here. What should we do? What am I? You gave me. What are you doing? You gave. You're so adorable. You have a playlist and you've put me in live action. So I'm live. Hi, everybody. Hi, hi, hi. So what's kind of neat about this is that I'm live, but of course this will go and be made part of the playlist because, man, life has been so crazy. And, you know, I literally just stopped like in the middle of my lessons over at Baby Pips at the Fibonacci lesson, which is right when people start to get pretty interested. But, you know, life has just been absolutely insane. The market has been crazy. The ICO markets have been crazy. The sovereigns have been absolutely out of their minds. Keeping up with the FUD, keeping away from, you know, breathing in the soap suds. So much going on with Mother Nature. I wrote to someone today, you know, that Mother Nature, talk about hashtag real talk with Mother Nature. So I'm glad to be back. I'm squeezing in a little bit of time tonight. What I may actually do is just kind of relax, you know, and let me get really in another tab so that I can kind of see what the channel is looking like and bring you back over to the charts. So if you just don't mind me for just a moment, that's what we'll do. We'll go dark for just a moment. I know really can hear me, so we're just going to go dark for a moment, and then I'll move his tab over so that I can monitor the MxWhat channel and get our charts up and going. Okay, so that should work out just well. Just really good. Okay, so I'm going to be doing right now. And don't mind me like all the it's just my personality, so don't worry about that. Okay, so what we do here is we go back to our Hangout. We're going to go ahead and stop the screen sharing, and now you can just kind of hear me that way. And we're going to close my group chat because I don't really need that right now. And we will open up another tab for the MxWhat, and that's what I'll do right now. Make sure that I can do that and do it well. Bring really down, and we can go back and forth to Twitter. I don't mind that so much. Although what I should have done maybe was bring Twitter. I'll try it again a little bit later. Come back. There's really. Thank you so much, love. I mean, my goodness, so much has been going on. So we go to our application window. There's our chart. And we will share the chart and present it to everyone, and there we go. All right, just a couple more little bits of cleanup. And we can bring the Hangout down because I can check in on the channel, and then we'll know. And then I can focus just on the chart. I think we've got it. I think we have it. We'll see. I'll bring it. There we go. All right, so let's see. Let's see if that's going to work. Okay, really, I'm on the channel right now, so we'll see if I set up my tabs right. I think I have. And then, of course, I'm monitoring the mumble, which is a little active right now. So if I stumble over my words, I'm sorry. Okay, so I think I've sorted out the tabs. Now, guys, I just use the Hangout just as it comes out of the box. When you're taking in my content over at the MxWhat 24/7, this is really pushing OBS to its limits. In fact, I think maybe even today he tried to do work with, I think it's called Realstream.io, if I'm not mistaken. So this is where, like, we're just in full engagement here over at MxWhat. So you can always, you know, see my replays up here at the upper left. But what we're doing tonight is we're actually doing a live. So I'm in the center pane, and I think it's just fine. I don't think we have to make it any bigger than it is because of what we're trying to do. And I may have to maybe elevate my bandwidth because the chart looks a little funny. But he's going to play around a little bit, which is just fine. So you're going to be able to see that live. When you're watching my content back, you'll see him playing around with what we call them panes or tiles, or I'm sure OBS probably has a proper name for it, but it's just a wonderful place. I highly recommend that you add your subscriber button to it and become subscriber number 47, because he's tried different iterations, and it's just been a fabulous experience for me. I really thoroughly enjoyed the creativity and how quickly he pushes the work to this MxWhat 24/7. I love it, love it. Okay, so let me just go back. I think you're set pretty much because my chart is holding up pretty well. So let me kind of calm down, maybe grab some water, and then I'll go back to the charts and kind of give you an idea, guys, an idea of sort of what's happening here. Why in the world? Oh my God, we're looking at a ruby. We're looking at Ruby. What happened to Ruby, man? Ruby gone nuts. And but clearly we are in we're in what's called a broadening wedge, and these can be very scary. They can do a lot of freakouts, and but I'll talk more about that in just a moment. So I think we're cool. I'm pretty sure we are. Okay, so I'll bring that window down, and then we'll just kind of start all over from the beginning. All right, you guys probably have no idea who you're talking to. So I'll do my intro in just a moment. And I think what I can do here is let me open up another YouTube tab. And let me get to put myself on mute. Aw, it's so sweet. He wrote a message to me over at the live chat too. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Love you so much. Love you so much. Man, those prayers worked out for all of us. I mean, clearly we have a lot of cleanup to do, and you know, I'm sure that we're probably going to be here, a friend of a friend or a friend, and things, you know, didn't work out so well. You know, we have not only a personal responsibility to make sure that we lift people up that are in pain, but I mean, there's people that lost their lives, not just property, but lost their lives, and just so much grief would be around that in a family. So I know Really's been through, he's been through typhoons and cyclones. And I just think Mother Nature, man, maybe there's just a knock at the door for us to be, you know, more grateful and more realistic about the world that we occupy. And but we can talk about that in just a little bit. And I just love it too that, see, we have a chat that's going on. So basically it's like this, like we're in a big office building called YouTube, right? And Really's on the 11th floor, and I'm like on the 3rd floor. And we get to chat back and forth and basically live and share and be motivated by one another. And it's just really, really cool. I highly recommend these creative, collaborative relationships if you can build them. And you know, don't be too, you know, weirdo. If you meet people that you just somehow get along, you know, it's not a marriage, but if you can create some things together, man, do it. Just do it. And be very communicative and have maybe a goal and just kind of live through a season, and then you see where it goes. And I you know, I just know that sometimes, you know, you'll go through a dry spell and you'll like, nobody really gets where you know, like some of my ideas, and then you find yourself in a YouTube channel and that person is just exhibiting just so much creativity and empowerment by using the technology. And that's how we kind of, as they would say, kind of clicked. And he's got a very busy life. I've got a busy life, and we're trying to bring more people into the realities that being creators and being you know, curators of important content such as fintech and such as cryptocurrency. You know, it's a big deal, and sometimes you have to kind of, you know, lower the ego just a little bit so that we can power through and get some really good work out to you guys. So thank you for the thumbs up. I have 2 watchers now, and we will go into our opener. And so phew, right? I made it. That's usually how I start things off, and you're listening to BeautyBubble. This has been my persona that I've been able to hold on to for 7.5 years on YouTube, and more years beyond that on some simple trading forum chats and that sort of thing. But I haven't been on the internet for a very long time in comparison. So a lot of the things that I've been trying to do is really just using the technology. So basically, you know, the internet, I don't come to the internet for friendship, and that shouldn't sound bad, but I don't come to the internet for friendship. It's not like a Tinder date or anything. And that, you know, the internet isn't my baby daddy. I really come here for good work and meeting people that understand the same sort of energy. So today, in today's video, this is going to be price action. I'll try and do multiple charts, but focused on cryptocurrency. Maybe I'll show you a little bit of Apple because of the event today. That might be interesting. But generally on all my social channels, I'm known as BeautyBubble, and what you'd enjoy is a puree of beauty, technology, financial markets, fashion, and books. You could categorize my outreach as trading well leads you to living well. Recently, I've been on a campaign on Twitter that's called #BitcoinersCare, and now, wouldn't you, you know, once again, you push it out, it doesn't resonate with anybody, and then in a few weeks, you know, not only are there instances in your life where you really need to show that you care and you do something about it, that there would be Bitcoiners that are out there that are actually doing some things. So maybe I'll share some of the things that I found out about today, that Bitcoiners that are out there trying to do good. So in the video, we will showcase price charts with a special focus on cryptocurrency charting. And at times the video may be in audio only or in pause for breaks. That's what's kind of fun about me having a playlist over at the MX, because he has so much other content that I don't have to feel any kind of pressure to keep going on with my dialogue The longest that I've gone without stopping was for a beta test of a live product, and I went live for 18 hours. There's some people that think maybe I went live for like 32 hours, but I can tell you that, you know, Scout's honor that I was live for 18 hours. And that was really quite the experience. They wanted to have the video and the audio kept stat, you know, and they couldn't get any of the beta testers to agree. So I raised my hands and, you know, I said, woot, woot, I'll do that. And so I know that I can, you know, I can talk and talk, but it is really nice that I can go into audio only or pause for breaks. And then it's okay. Like, you know, people that enjoy my charts are happy to, you know, to have that happen. I've got a couple people in my chat that'll say, how come we don't hear you, and so forth, but it's in the description below if you're ever worried about it. And speaking of content value, on a scale of 1 to 10, I really don't do any preparation or script writing, and the quality of the production, as I said, just comes off my laptop. So we're going to consider that the production quality is pretty low, and I've pre-rated it at a 2 if you're out there trying to determine who has great quality and who might be lacking. The charts that I showcase are primarily from a site called TradingView. I want you to know that I have no affiliation with TradingView, and none should be implied by reference or tone of my voice. I've been with them for a very long time. I have a history with them for a very long time. And so the tone as I'm describing the charts might come across as though, you know, that I know everything, but I don't know everything. They're always building something new and cool over there. Should there be an affiliate relationship, however, at any time where there's commissions or promotional considerations that are made to myself or anyone that's involved in the creation of my content, you, the viewer, will be made completely aware here in the description or through my voiceover and social channels that I frequent and post openly. That would be G+ and Twitter primarily. There's my Bitcoin address. Very common for Bitcoiners to share their Bitcoin address. And my disclaimer, I will read it as quickly as I can, goes like this. Which I had a little bit of music in there. Please be advised that all content in the charts shown is meant for entertainment and educational purposes only. Trading the stock, bond, currency, cryptocurrency, commodity, and futures markets can be rewarding, but it is also risky. Be aware that you can lose money and in some ways lose more than you have. It can also be profitable, but not without significant risks. You are responsible for your own independent investment transactions. The charts shown are not to serve as an investment advisory service. I highly encourage you to seek professional advice in regard to your own financial decisions. Information you may get from my chart and charts shown and their further discussion in chat rooms or forums may not reflect my personal opinions at the time that you hear about it. The charts shown and their content is not a solicitation nor an offer for professional investment advice, nor is it an offer to buy or sell stocks, bonds, currency, cryptocurrencies, commodities, and or futures. Okay, so that's a disclaimer. Down below, you'll also notice that I have a little piece that's called Channels and Communities to Support and Know About. So I've had to clean this up over since the last time that I was here because we had some things that had to be rotated out. So Block Digest, which is the Bitcoin mumble presented by Dragon's Den. So that's the Block Digest. We don't have our own YouTube show donation address, but maybe tomorrow I'll go ahead and I'll put the Bitcoin mumble. But I'm sort of waiting for the address for the actual outreach called Block Digest. And of course the MxWhat 24/7 CrypTube. There is the direct link. And once again, tomorrow I'll go ahead and get Really's donation addresses in there as well. But the description, I think, of all of YouTube is like the hardest thing to get through. But of course, we have this really cool thing that goes like this now too, that, you know, if you enjoy what you're hearing, if you want to reach out to me at all, please like and share and subscribe and be notified to the channel when I do go live, because all my content is live. I don't do any what's it called? Edited content anymore. I used to do in the old days, but I don't do that anymore. And so if you hit that notification bell, then you'll know when I do go live, because I never know exactly when you will hear from me. And as we say, little air quotes around that, only if you want to. I love that. I learned that from one of the producers of Black Digest. We use this as an outro, only if you want to. I think that that's so wonderful. All right, let's get in on the charts here. Because if you listen to Block Digest, you'll get a lot of news. And within, like, I think like our shortest show has been like 35 minutes. So between 35 minutes of your dedication and an hour and 5 or 10 minutes, you will hear from the sharpest tongues, the brightest minds, quick, really quick, smart people in the crypto space. I have been in it long enough. I have heard basically every sort of kind of manner of personality. And there is a difference between knowing how to earn, which is in my world, and knowing how to learn about cryptocurrency. It's probably a lifelong learning. So you might hear people say, well, you should just watch, Andreas Antonopoulos. Well, I've been watching him since, he put up his first eating steak video on YouTube. And, all of this takes time. It takes digestion. You have to read, you have to listen, you have to learn, you have to be challenged, you have to ask a lot of questions. It is a lifelong love affair with digital assets. So here we are. So Block Digest, and let me go back to Reeling and see what he's doing over there. Make sure that I see how he's going to manage the stream. Okay. Let's see, hosting from her own channel. That is, okay, so I got it. We have no idea what it sounds like though, so I suppose you got the audio figured out. So what I think we'll do really is that, let me find out, how long have I been live? How long have I been live? There's the Hangout. I have been live for 22 minutes. So why don't we do this? I know, 18 hours, I'm just nutty. I've been live for, 23 minutes. So why don't we, I'll go ahead and commit for, can you have me host until it's an hour up? Or do you want to just do it for another 7 minutes? That would be 30 minutes. You let me know what you want to do. So I've been live for 23 minutes, so we can go 30 minutes or 60 minutes. It's really up to you. I'm sorry for the plankety plink on the keyboard. Tell me, tell me, tell me. You guys are probably wondering, who is she talking to? Who is she talking to? Well, I'll let you know. Let me grab the link. And I'll do Command C, because I'm the only one that can do it in my own channel, because I have not made, see, this is when I should be, here's the link to MxWhat. The MxWhat channel. All right. So when you hear me talking to another channel, that is the MxWhat 24/7 channel, where my work is being hosted. I know, but I don't know how long I'll be live. But you're okay with that? Like, you'll know what to do if the live goes dark? That's what I'm thinking, right? That's what I'm thinking. That probably got that figured out. Oh, well, I know, because me and Infinite, like, he's, I mean, he's like this god, right? But I've listened to you when you're talking about any number of things in that music, and there's just sometimes where that music is just really, actually, you would get a kick out of me telling you that I've been listening to more of these rap mixes while I've been working, and it's, oh my gosh, it's so cool. But I'm afraid to put music, on my because I don't really need to. I can send people here. I can send people to MxWhat. So that's how I think. All right, so let me get back to these. Let me get back to these charts. All right. Okie dokes. So there we are on that. And thank you to the 3 people watching, or the 3 machines that are watching. I appreciate that very much. Love you so much. And there's the 4th machine watching me. Thank you. You can always check in the live chat if you'd like to, because I think I've got my tabs figured out tonight. And we'll bring this down, and I'll go to the live chart. All right. You're probably wondering, Beauty, how did you know that there would be a break there? Well, you don't really know. This is what's called a broadening wedge. If you can catch them, and you catch them under the right circumstances, you have a fairly good chance at, in fact, I'll do like a 30 minutes. You can kind of see where this is going to go. Squeeze it in just a little bit. This is what's called a broadening wedge. Now, all this price action in Ruby has really thrown a lot of things out of whack. But if I had been live with her and you had seen the 841 cross, the 841 cross led into the 51 EMA, which is the money line. We did get support off of the 51, and then of course we busted through the 96. That's that green line. But then we held resistance right below the 243 and just wobbled around before we just kissed out and did a full retrace, as you can see. So even though you could say, yeah, but Beauty, you told us that, it's the 841, it's the primary cross. Well, it is, and it isn't. Clearly, there was a long in there, clearly, and started this interesting Google Doc where I kind of took a couple of little positions. But because there's so much tension in this trade to go short, it is not shocking that the trade retraced. We got an 841 cross short, and that break was significant, even in the 1 minute. Really significant when we zoom in. I might do that in just a couple of moments. And then tonight, after all of the crazy talk about China and Jamie Dimon and so much negative and difficult news to get through, we were able to, when I say we, I found the broadening wedge. Now, it helps that over at the Mumble, there's a couple of traders over there that really, they're very clever. And so they had their own support resistance lines. And, I didn't overdraw their lines. They have, I think they're using the 240, but clearly you could see that there was a wedge of some sort. So I looked up broadening wedge, and sure enough, there are plenty of patterns that demonstrate a broadening wedge. The problem that I was having with this particular broadening wedge is that price, my free market equilibrium was right at the center. And the only saving grace that I had in calling the broadening wedge short was because there's a technique about broadening wedges where they enter and develop in the heel in the direction that the trade will resolve itself. Now, resolve is a hard word because it's all about, well, once it resolves, and it's resolving right now to the downside, where will it pick up and begin to reverse? So that They can be very, very difficult for there to be multiple candles that are outside, and then it's a clear break, and we're talking all hell breaks loose. Multiple 60-minute bars. They can be bar over bar shorts. They don't have to be a full waterfall effect or even gaps. But they're difficult to read because there are some traders that would have argued that the trade is actually long and we would fill in. So this would be a false breakout and we would fill in, and then the true breakout would be above the 4,400 line here. So everyone knows that I try to keep good clean lines on my chart, and you can see that I had an 812 EMA cross. Actually, it was an 812 EMA no trade zone. And so we see that right now the trade is resting on that line. And because I'm a big believer that the trade sometimes when it enters into an abyss will go to the left side of the chart. And it's worked out very well for me. It might just be because I've just seen too many candles or something. So that's why I mark these lines when they're important to me. It's just about experience. Sometimes the things that are important to me are the things that actually develop in price. But it doesn't make me a magi or some sort of a devil woman or anything like that. It's just you can even see watching the 96 EMA, watching the 51 EMA. But it's at these particular levels, price levels, that I found that certain things were happening at those levels that had an import. So you can see there's not like 1,000 lines on the right-hand side, but they've been on my chart even since when we had the potential to break over 45. And so these are all lines that either come in once I kind of go back and study, or they can be just at very ephemeral when price is happening on the left side of the chart. And there's just something about the condition, the dynamic of the way the price is reacting that I will go ahead and put those important lines on for myself. Twitter seems to be going a little bit crazy. So anyway, there we go with that. And we will go back into the 30-minute just to see how it looks up close. I'll rework my charts. You guys can see. You'll see that price is almost right there. In fact, the low was 40.1638, and we're at 40.14.15, which was the call over at the Mumble. So let's see what happens down and around there. All right. And then I said I was going to get some water. So let me zoom in, and then we'll get even a little closer. Get into a 15-minute bar. So you can kind of see where I picked up. In fact, I could clean this up just a little teeny bit now, which is what I try and do. So you'll notice that the ray tool, I picked it up there and here and there and here, and then we had a break. We had a little bit of a rest. We had a 15-bar rest almost, but I like to do things just a little bit more perfect. So it's quite possible that because we broke through this, that what we'll notice maybe further down the road is that as price comes in, eventually it will rest on that line. We could look at that second bar right there that we hit resistance. So that means that the line is truly valid. And so that's an interesting little piece of brilliance right there. And okay, let me see how really is doing, and then I will, let's see here. Ah, Anon, no, I'm here and I'm human. Oh, that's cool. Very, very cool. Thank you. All right, so let's see here. Let me go ahead and I might collapse the, oh, the Nightbot's on. The Nightbot go. The Nightbot. Very fun. All right. Okay, I'm going to grab the URL again and send it over to my chat again. So we're doing something a little bit different tonight, which is that I'm going live in the main, kind of the main ballroom over at the MxWhat 24/7 channel. Okay, so there we go. All right, I think what I'll do is, let's see, I think I'm going to have to, I'll pop out my chat, pop out the chat. I think what I'm going to do, guys, is close out of the YouTube channel. I'm trying to get the fan to kind of click off. And come to the Hangout. Okay, and if you guys don't mind, I'll step up and get some water here. But just to recap, what you're looking at is the BTC USD Coinbase pair. It's a 15-minute bar. We're watching a follow through on a broadening wedge after a Ruby 841 Ruby cross short. We'll see what happens here. We got this ugly breakout Ruby kiss long up against a lot of really difficult EMAs to drive price through. So we're going to see. We have a lot of people that are very wishful for the short, but of course it's never healthy for there to be news from China. And of course Jamie Dimon coming in. Lots of really wicked things happened today in the market that's given way for this sort of activity. So we're going to just follow through. Going to just relax with it. I'll put the chart in a smaller time frame if I can get over there to do that. And let me see where my chart is. Bring really down, and there we go. We'll come into maybe a 3 minute. If you guys can actually see this happen. There we go. There's the cross right there. And then all the problems that we had the broadening wedge, and there it is. Pick it up, clean up the chart just a little bit because that is the wick that grabbed the broadening wedge. And you'll see that watching the 8/12 EMA, that is considered a no trade zone from the left side of the chart, and it looks like we're dough footing here. See what happens. If it tires of this and the weight of the short, then we will bust through the 40, 14, 15. Okay. I think we're pretty good. And remembering I'm monitoring the mumble too right now. So I think maybe the fan is too much. I'm going to run over to the Twitter and see what's going, and nothing much. Go back over to the chart. Thank you to Twitter. You can follow my Twitter if you'd like, at BeautyBubble right there, at BeautyBubble. You can look for the bingo ball. Let me get this over to the mumble. The guys, the guys at the mumble, just so great. If you follow the Block Digest YouTube, which is down below under communities to follow, you can find your way into the Bitcoin mumble. So, so what's happening right now is that they're having a little bit of difficulty. Oh my goodness. I'm pretty sure when I go over there, you guys can't see. So I think it's got a different window to it. I mean, it's funny. I let them know that I'm on YouTube right now, and they don't have anything to say. Oh man, what are you gonna do? What are you going to do? Oh, did it show? I'm sure. It's like the Nightbot. We love the Nightbot. He needs his own name. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's pretty funny though. Okay. See, I promised myself that we would go ahead and we would watch this trade evolve and so forth, and there's the big yawn coming in. That is not good. Anyway, the MxWhat 24/7 channel started streaming 15 hours ago. We did have a countdown timer, but that doesn't matter because Really's been working on some really cool things. And oh no, really, it's so cool. I mean, I would love it, you know, but I mean, you're on all the time, but I mean, obviously it would be fun. I love the bots. Crazy about the bots. I don't know why. Interesting. All right, so let me get my chat up. And there is my pop-out chat. And let's see. Is that how long? Okay, so I'll announce it, right? 495 hours and 24 minutes of almost continuous cryptocurrency mining, charting, trading, tech, gaming, focused on BTC, ETH right now in the 5-minute charts. The Signata mining GPUs going on. We chill. It's just fantastic. We just have just about everything. And imagine 495 hours. I mean, nobody can do this. You have to have a tremendous amount of dedication for getting it right. And I just love it. Love, love, love it. Thank you for sharing how many hours. It's really something else. Love, love, love. Total channel uptime. Something unreal. Okay, so bring that down, go back to our chart. And you can see I don't make up the levels. The levels happen on their own. And we'll just see if this was a fake out to the downside and the wedge is trying to continue through. A few different things that could happen here. We know that it's a ruby short. That's number one. What we don't know is how deep the short is going to take us. We know right now that the short took us to 40.14.15, which in my opinion, it was because it was registering a read from the left side of the chart. And it's just a matter of whether or not I'm not seeing one particular candle over another candle that's like, oh, but that's definitely going to hold. That will hold. Not a problem. I see one little doji. It's not really that big of a deal. I don't think it can hold the entire move up. And so that's what you look for. We'll work out to a bigger time frame and see. In a couple of candles, we'll see if we can locate a really decent candle that tagged that area and looks as though maybe it can pivot and have price go into full advancement through the short, into the wedge, through the wedge. Lots of things have to happen in this. I hope you guys can see this. Everything is short. All of the EMAs are short, and now the 243 is underneath the wedge line. This is all very critically difficult to move price through. People have to really, really think that these are great values down here. More people need to get in, of course. And and the trade is at 40.59.01. Alrighty. Okay, so let me take a break right now. A moment. And I'll be right back. Okay. As we've said, I'll be back and forth on mic. And a bit of crumbling happening here. Looks like. And I think what I'll do too is go ahead and go into the 15-minute bar. And if I'm not mistaken, we do have a little bit of a problem with bandwidth coming across. But I mean, I think it's okay. For me, if increased bandwidth might get the stream messed up a little bit, and I think I've got it only on 2 bars, so clearly we would probably see a little better picture. We'll keep it on the 15-minute, just see what's going to happen here. In the meantime, what I might do over to CoinMarketCap. Go to market cap. And our top 10 is Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Ripple, Litecoin, Dash. NEM, Monero is number 8, IOTA number 9, Ethereum Classic number 10. Going back, sliding down to the market cap, our total market cap is 140,139,948,279. And then over to the headlines. Number one headline that's coming across the Cointelegraph, Future of Money, is Jamie Dimon calls Bitcoin fraud despite clear conflict of interest. If you run over to my Google+, I grabbed a piece of Reddit where I guess someone has built this chart of really damning problems that JP Morgan has had over the years. So you might want to run over there. That's over on my BeautyBubble G+, I think I'm known as the real BeautyBubble. I'll let you guys know. I never can remember those kinds of things. But the hot stories, China ban on ICO is temporary licensing to be introduced. They're saying over at the Cointelegraph that that is an official statement. Next story, great time to buy Bitcoin as, quote, unreliable sources from China spooks the market. So they're looking at it's a great time to buy. Hot story number 3, can any government ban Bitcoin? Can any government ban Bitcoin? Question mark. Next story, hot story too, breaking Bitcoin. Oh, this is breaking. Bitcoin altcoin prices tumbled to 25% on China exchange. Once again, China and ban rumors. Next hot story, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Ripple, Litecoin. Price analysis for September the 8th. Now it is the 12th, but it is a hot story. All right, we'll go over to the editor's choice column. Legendary Bitcoin trader Master Luke predicts $15,000 Bitcoin this year. Next editor's choice story, Bitcoin price might exceed 1 million. More millionaires in world than Bitcoins. Editor's choice story number 3, top 10 altcoins, all you wanted to know about Bitcoin's contenders. Next story, Bitcoin price can reach $1 million. CNBC's Jim Cramer. These are all dated stories. And the last one is why Aragon co-founder sees Ethereum price surpassing $1,000. So those are your headlines over at Cointelegraph. Interestingly enough, they have a lot of adverts that are coming out. Hackspace Capital Token Sale, a real company for real projects with real value. That's being advertised. Interesting little logo that they have. If we scroll down, you can submit a press release if you'd like on their channel. In the very center, the ICO scar, like as in ICO Oscar, the block show in Asia, 29th through 30th November, Singapore. Power Ledger public token sale, that's another ad. Easy Mine, another ad, building the future of cryptocurrency mining, join the ICO. Still scrolling down, looking for the next ad. That's about it. Okay, so I know that I promised that we would go over their guides and analytics. We will do that, I promise you. As soon as we get through the baby pips, we will be going to all of the resources in which they have some sort of like educational component, so we can make sure that we get those in the can as long as the media outreaches are available to us before they all get swooped up and bought by the major players. Okay, so Cointelegraph, those are their stories. Next stories would be from CoinDesk. Right, stories up, CoinDesk, and the default for CoinDesk is still the consensus. All right, big story. Jamie Dimon, Bitcoin is a fraud. But ads join the crowd sale for ICO called UTrust. On the right-hand side, CoinDesk is advertising the BitConnect. Big stories on YouTube if you want to follow any of the crypto drama. A lot of drama around BitConnect. They have BCC lending, invest in most promising cryptocurrency, but that's their big ad on the right side. Wow. Might want to ask about that a little bit. Next story, Euroclear Alternative seeks public listing for blockchain securities. And in 34 minutes, it'll be the new day. So let's see if they're going to put some new stories out, because these are all dated September 12th. They may be on the Pacific. Yeah, all of these are older stories. I should have, oh, that's right. Maybe they don't have the dates. I didn't realize that it was that close. So I'll keep going. Next story, China's ICO ban, understandable, reasonable, and probably temporary. Bitcoin's biggest bull, Arthur Hayes. Arthur Hayes, of course, of BitMEX, isn't long crypto. He's short government. North Korea is targeting South Korea's Bitcoin exchanges, report claims. Analyst, cryptocurrency mining is boosting AMD and NVIDIA stock prices. We have looked at the charts, actually, as this was happening. And there's some interesting things to be said about these charts of both of those companies. Kick. The Kick ICO kicks off to small scams and big demand with a $75 million goal. I did not follow through with them. Looks as though they raised millions, but I don't know how they're selling it. Bitcoin OTC service suspends. Trading citing China pressure. Ether nurses China hangover as price struggles above 300. And it goes on and on and on. You can visit yourself, coindesk.com. And they also have an educational component. It's called Blockchain 101, and lots of articles and so forth about the blockchain. What is blockchain technology? What is Bitcoin? How do smart contracts work? And they had another data. Oh, understanding Ethereum. That's right. They have a couple of things that are kind of hidden inside of the website that you might be interested in visiting. All right. Get back to the chart. What? picture, down 5.3%. All right. So our next line is 383209. Primarily that candle that presented as a resistance candle on the wedge line, that pretty much was the tell. We actually got two. We got one as a gravestone doji, followed through with another tap and resistance. So we shall see. Do you guys want to see it on a bigger, get closer in? Get this candle a little tighter in so you guys can see it actually happen. Pipe it here. I don't think they're talking to me. I mean, check out my chat. Hello, chat. Oh my goodness, what are you guys doing? What are you doing? What's going on? What's up? Hold on. I had someone. Oh no, wouldn't that have been awesome? I would agree if I'm at the bottom. Feel free to stick around. Technically, they can ban anything they want, and I will disagree absolutely. Cool, I will check out your channel. Anywhere to buy altcoins, can't find an exchange. Bitcoin just dropped below 4,000. That it did. Definitely run over to Really's channel. Really, if you can hear me, go ahead and run over to your channel if you're going to be giving advice on where to trade. So, you know what I mean? Because I don't have any, I don't, I think you probably understand. Yeah, because, you know, you have more like relationships and so forth and so on. So. I would never think that. I would never think that. I just think it's smarter for them to run over to, you know, the MX, because that's where the body of all those links are, you know? Oh no, it's perfectly okay. It's just the thing is that if you go over there, then you'll get a more depth of, you know, what is available, and because there's regional concerns and you know, the soundness of the exchanges and all that sort of thing like that. And Really's got a pretty good deep list, whereas for me, it's much more structured there. Yeah, yeah. Hold on just a moment, because really can't. Okay, down below of my description, you'll see the MX4 24/7. I'm sorry, MxWhat. I'm listening to another channel. MxWhat. And if you go there, you will immediately find yourself over at this incredible kind of like a dashboard of all of us, including myself live over there. But he manages all of that, and he has a really incredible list of very well organized links and ideas. So, whereas mine is much more just, yeah, you're gonna love it. And then also he'll give you the lowdown on his experiences, and you know see, that's pretty funny. So what's funny is that, Hen, you're going to run over there. You're going to think that really is over there, but you're going to end up just speaking to me again. So that's very funny. But at least you could visit his description box, subscribe, and just check in with him, anytime that you want to. Just he keeps that chat going. So whereas when I kind of close up shop, I lose my chat. But if you're over there, you're probably you're listening to me, and then he's going to leave with the kids. That's pretty funny. So at least it gets you started, though, because the way that he runs the channel, it's much more kind of outward facing, All righty. That's pretty funny. Okay, let's get back to the charts. Thank you very much to my chat. I really appreciate it. I know. I know. I'm going to try and figure out what to do about this chat so I don't have to. I've already popped it out, which is super smart. If anybody's listening and you're a YouTuber, popping out your chat is probably the coolest thing you could do for yourself. And well, I called it that I'm in the ballroom. I don't know why I said it that way, but that's what it kind of felt like. I was like on the main stage. That's what it's called. Yeah, beauty's on the main stage. That's what I could say over at Twitter. It would be pretty funny. Okay, so for any of you that are finding your way here to my YouTube, perhaps on the replay, I do get quite a few replay visitors. Thank you very, very much. My name is BeautyBubble. I've held this persona now for many, many years on YouTube, and you can feel to call me Beauty or Bubble or BB or any number of things that make you feel comfortable. You can find a lot of my work that's out there in different venues. I do talk about a lot of different sorts of things, fashion and lifestyle, but of course my everyday life. I am a full-time legacy trader that discovered Bitcoin many, many years ago. And through that experience, I've been through Mt. Gox and the development of the indicator that you're enjoying right now called Ruby. Ruby is one of the very few cryptocurrency indicators that is on GitHub, and her backtesting is on GitHub. But there's no book written on it. There's a few things that I've done. Obviously, I've done work on YouTube, but I always get myself into trouble. So my life is all about starting over and over and over again. But this iteration, really found me. I found really, and I have other also support. I support the Bitcoin Mumble, for example, through the Dragon's Den and Block Digest. I do a lot of work with them. And so I've just found myself in the season of being around a lot of really interesting people that are hardworking in the crypto space. So tonight, because we had a very odd day today, really, I should just come out and just say we had a really shitty day. Lots of crazy, nutsy, weird FUD and weirdness about, I mean, we had Charlie Lee decide that he was going to ban himself from Twitter because he had no idea that maybe he was responsible for the move. We have Jamie Dimon, who has no problem whatsoever saying the most salacious things about cryptocurrency, even though the background, the backstory, of course, with him is very interesting. And his daughter has been involved with cryptocurrency for years now. So, you know, it was just a day of trying to catch up with what we call now the big truth. You know, what is the big truth? How can you navigate if you're on the trading side, or if you're just managing your cold storage? How can you navigate through our industry? So we just had so much, to the extent that people are just scrambling to try and just get the best out. So you definitely want to check out the block digest today that we did, and you'll find that link down below in my description. And this is where I participate in the news desk and try and work with everybody else to get the show put together. And there's quite a few of us that do it. It's a creative outreach, professional outreach, to do our very best to bring you more than the headlines. We're talking about very deep technical conversations with Bitcoin Core, very interesting interviews that we've had. We've had one great capsule interview with Luke. And it's a fascinating place to be. You can join the Mumble. It's a really simple kind of app. And so it's one of those curious communities that has been birthed out of the more kind of raucous trading forums and raucous, too much wildness. But we are very active and try and, have our mind in lots of different areas. And then we've all come together Monday through Friday for anywhere between 40 minutes, let's say, and an hour and 10 minutes, and put these news stories together, curate them, talk about them, open up the dialogue, get people invited to take a panel in the hangout, live hangout. So there's no editing. It's very raw, and yet we follow a really great format, and I think that you'll really enjoy it. So that's that. Okay, so let me do kind of a little bit of a wraparound, because now you know. We're looking at the BTC USD Coinbase pair. I have it on a 5-minute bar right now. We're trading at 3,993, now 91.90. We're down 4.19% on the session. And this is a breakout from a descending, it's a broadening wedge in a descending pattern. So the broadening wedge, as it was able to be plotted, you could see that the price was coming into the wedge, and the foot or the heel of the wedge. And the traditional way that this is supposed to work is that it acts as a follow-through pattern, and it'll literally come out of the wedge, out of the trend line. And but these things can be very wily, very unpredictable. And then, of course, it being a cryptocurrency, the moment that break happened, you're looking for confirmation that it's a good break. And we have prices. We knew that 414.15 was a decent price to go to. We're now trading underneath that. And let me see. Our next line, although now we're getting a little bit of congestion here, would be 38.3209. 38.3209. But this is a little bit of a cluster right here. So We could kind of do some sideways here, but I don't see how these EMAs are going to catch up. We might find the 51 inside of Ruby, which is an interesting play because we might be able to get hoovered up to the 51. The 51.52 is now just parallel with my free market line at 42.16. And this could do something very similar to what we had over here, which is literally we have some decent bars. It'll peter out, but it'll go sideways for another hour. But we just don't know. We just don't know. So we're going to keep an eye on it for everybody. And I'll rewind the chart just a little bit and move that back to the left so you guys have got some space on the right so you can see the candles form. And we're on the 5-minute bar now, the 5-minute bar. BTC USD Coinbase pair trading at $3,982.01. And I appreciate it, chat, for saying that. Thanks for doing this. I appreciate that. Really do. Okay, let me see what else I can kind of get through. Check out and see what Really's doing. He's going to be back in an hour or so. He said that 10 minutes ago. Checking my own. So this might work out pretty well. As you can see, the MxWhat 24/7 CrypTube corner is live and happening, and I am hosting Center Court. If you wanted to find your way over there, you'll look for the link down below in my description. If you've never seen OBS, just crazy good, then you will visit the MxWhat 24/7 CrypTube corner. My playlist is always in the upper left-hand side. That playlist runs for about 12 hours. We're trying to make sure that I'm bringing fresh content, but when we've been in development here, I kind of moved to do some other things, and yet I think my playlist is like maybe 12 hours long, something like that. But one day it should primarily be educational videos, so we'll try and go through every bit of education that's out there. Baby Pips, all of the major news journals, maybe some Khan Academy. And so if, because I'm not a gamer, and I'm not a miner, not yet anyway. I'm not a coder, not like Chow is. And so for me to kind of find my little corner there of education is a very cool thing. But tonight is a special night, and I'm playing Center Court and hosting the MxWhat 24/7 CrypTube corner. You'll notice also that my voice is being played with Infinite, and which I know that I've heard other people do their voiceovers with his music, and it just seems to work for all the personality types that are here at the MxWhat. Love it. So I'll even listen to it myself right now. So see, because I don't know the tempo, I guess I could tell from the equalizer that the tempo is rather fast. And I guess there's certain music that maybe works. Oh, good, good, good. Good for you. Good for you. Yay. All right, so I was able to, someone found me on my channel, and then I brought him over to the MxWhat 24/7 channel, and now he's here. So yeah, I think you'll enjoy it. If anything, you'll just meet some really cool people that are doing things a little differently than maybe is out there. I just wish that I could go live more often. It's my Yeah, you like it then, huh? Good. So each of these are people that really knows. Like I guess Brad has 2 panes, and then Chow, myself, and Infinite down here on the right. We have the chat that has an empty pane right here, which I think is where Really broadcasts from when he's live on camera. And what's really kind of neat about the channel is that it feels like it's a hub. And I'll just come here and I'll just say hello. And it's just really fun like that. And I think that you probably found out how many hours we've been live. Let me grab my chat and I'll tell you. We have been going live now for, oh, that's another chat. You may have been in the channel when he was telling us how long we've been live. 495 hours and 24 minutes. We've been crushing it. This is really, it's a copy of what Really wrote to me over in my chat. Look at that, 495 hours, just awesome. I mean, who can do that, you know? Just crazy. Well, you know what I might be able to do? Oh no, you guys won't see my chat. So there we are, we're just candle over candle. If it gets a little heavy, then we'll get another move down. If you took the cross, then you took the cross. Hard read though. Going over to my Twitter. And, oh, that's nice. Really wrote a nice message. And see, I haven't even said to anybody over on Twitter that I'm live yet. So funny, I'm really good at promoting other people. It is pretty amazing because, you know, it shows a certain amount of dedication to using the technology with, you know, I mean, obviously he's had a vision for a very long time to kind of put this all together. But, you know, you can have the vision and then you just don't have enough people to bounce, you know, your own ideas against. And he's tried different ways of putting the frameworks together, you know, the frame, the architecture of it all, colorations. See, we even have a night bot. That's pretty fun. So many things. He's really open to making it you know, when it says MxWhat, it's multi-channel, and it's like, how far can we actually go with it? So it's like, we have no idea. He has no idea how far it could go. I tell as many people as I can, and then those people tell as many people. So it's really cool like that. And what I find really funny is that people that are coming in, I'm now being hosted live. Like, he's been able to get my audio sequence live, not from the playlist now, but live. So, well, it's all over the place. Wait till you start really digging around. You know, I hear that quite a bit, especially Oh gosh, because I'm not managing, I'm monitoring the mumble right now, and they're going a little crazy. It's just time too that, you know, we haven't really had like too many like serious marketers come in, but they're coming. And what I'm realizing is that people that really want to learn about it are getting on board now, so that they know the difference between being, being marketed or misaligned with whatever their objectives are. So, because really is more involved in, the altcoins, whereas I'm more involved with the Bitcoin. And so there's all this like mess in between of, what is, what isn't, and all this that you have to learn. And it's so, and every single element, every chapter that you do learn is just fascinating. And then you'll listen to a conference and get your mind blown, after a couple of hours. And so it's well worth it, though. I really think. I think what you get out of understanding about, financial technology, just that alone. Well, no, I don't worry about anything. So I think that, there's opportunities, there's always something on sale, and you have to know how to manage your wins. So I'm not worried. I'm worried for people that are, maybe they didn't take their profits, or they didn't manage their portfolio in the right way. So, I would be worried that they don't yet understand one of the most important things, which is to know how to get out if you want to manage your profits. If you're not interested in that, then most people that I speak to that hold cold storage, they're really not that interested in the current price, but they do like to get more coin on discount. So the worry comes in from just not, I mean, you have to know a lot of things. It's not an easy trade. I've told many people over the years, it is the most difficult trade that I've ever been involved with. So, it involves so many incidences of kind of foul play. And yeah, you just take your time. That's all. I tell a lot of people, listen to a few people, and then you'll find a little area that you're like, oh, okay, I like that. Like, I really want to learn about mining, or I really want to learn about blockchain. I really want to learn about the legalities. So, yes, I did. But when I started talking openly, publicly to people, I really wanted to be a miner. I thought that would be the most fascinating thing. Um, and I was immediately told, Beauty, no way, don't, no, 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 you can't be a miner. So, but just keep your ears open, and so much out there now, and you'll hear something that really interests you, and then you try and find, other people that want to share the conversation. I mean, there's meetups, there's Eventbrites, There's so much education that's out there. There's free conferences on YouTube. Um, okay, I'll be on mute for just a little bit, okay? Okay, welcome back. Hi, everybody. I believe that you're probably watching me on the main stage over at the MxWhat 24/7 CrypTube channel. Thank you very much if you are. Make sure if you're over there, which is also here, that you like, subscribe, and share only if you want to. And also check all of the links and really cool things that are going on over at the MxWhat 24/7. And thank you to Really, who's the producer of this awesome platform, for hosting my live event tonight. This was only because we did have a breakout of what's called a broadening wedge. There was a lot of, I don't know, structure, you could say, in a broadening wedge to let us know that we would be breaking out to the downside. These can always be kind of scary moments. We had some lines in my chart. If you follow my charts, please feel free to do so over at my own channel, and where you can see all of the markings on my BTC USD Coinbase chart. The chart that I'm highlighting right now is the 5-minute bar chart. You'll notice that there's lines over on the right-hand side that signify the areas in which I am forecasting for price to go. Of course, none of us know what will happen, but I'm the billion candle woman, and so many times, of course, these the forecast or the projection of price often does fall in line with some of the lines on my chart. It's not super rocket science, any kind. It's not some super mojo, but just experience. All right, so that is me over at the MxWhat, and you're listening to my voice over the incredible music of Infinite. So that's always fun, because over on my own channel, I do not have all the cool things that the MxWhat channel provides. Let me see what else I can tell you. We're just going to be watching this trade unfold. We've been live now for a little over an hour, and I plan on being live for a little while here until this price decides what it really wants to do tonight. I am seeing some earmarks that the trade will continue to pursue the bearish momentum, and my EMAs are telling me that once we get below the free market equilibrium, there really is no other place for the trade to go but to find its way down to the bearish levels until people come in. It might be in the morning, it might be in the middle of the night. We don't know. We could start counting some wedges, maybe. When I see that there is any kind of pattern whatsoever without me going to other charts, I will let you guys know. Okay? All right. So that puts all that together. All right, then I'm going to check and see if you guys got that. How is that? Oh my goodness. Ah, okay. I know, Digi. I think so. We can see that there's other trades that are suffering through this move as well. But I love that we're calling it the attitude tonight. I call this the BTC discount price, just a pullback for more people to get in the market. Nothing to worry about. Completely agree. Let me see what Infinite is playing right now. So are you guys enjoying the voiceover with the infinite track right now? Because I haven't listened to the whole track. I have no idea how many hours. So I don't know like what the next beat is, but if it was, then I would kind of know, oh, okay, now's a good time to, get some instruction in. Now's a good time to read headlines. So, but it's super cool for me to have the center court. It's really fun. I highly recommend it. And remember, I'm monitoring the Mumble. That's bitcoinmumble.com or dragonsden.io. And if you're familiar with the Mumble server, that's where a lot of us reside. Of course, Really's got his own Discord. I think it's a little bit by invite. I also participate in a daily news show called Block Digest. It's really more than a news show, but I'm going to check out the YouTube channel. We do a Monday through Friday news desk, and we cover a lot of technicals. We have core developers such as Blue Matt, Luke DeGier, Eric Lombroso, some really, really smart people that have been following the core Slack and IRC channels for years, including the GitHub, the commits, and all of that. And so our conversation can get very technical at times. We cover a lot of the political discourse that's out there between the wallets and the altcoins and the ICOs and the political climate, the legal climate. It's a fascinating outreach. We're in our pilot season, 21 episodes so far, with one capsule episode that we did. We've interviewed Charlie Shrem. I think you'll really enjoy it. So check that out. Remember, I'm monitoring the mumble right now, so if I'm over speaking or kind of speaking oddly, it's because they're in my ear. And here's that little pop-up rejection. So we'll see whether or not that acts like it did before. Nothing too much except for the volatility that's in the EMAs has really happened. So we will see. I can take it to 1 minute if you guys don't mind. You can get a little better idea about what's happening with those candles, and I hope you guys can see that. Keep it on the 1 minute for a little 10 minutes or so. And I think what I'll do is I'll go ahead and put myself on mute, and we'll let these candles digest for just a little bit. Talk to you soon. Hi, everybody. I'm back. Thanks a lot for waiting for me. Hi, everybody. Okay. So because we have that lag, because the lag is pretty bad, then it's almost, wow, like 30. We're doing a lag test. Hi, AI hen. Yeah, we've decided to do like a lag test here, so pretty interesting.
12 and 24 seconds.
I'll be back in just a moment, okay? Gotta beat somebody up. Alrighty, so looks like we've got not rejection of the lows, but we have move that came back up to the 812 EMA, the 4014 line. So that line looks pretty solid. Of course, we can get some ledge counts. The trade will continue to go up, maybe to retest the bottom side of the broadening wedge. So we're very hyper vigilant right now for anyone that is in a short position. Of course, this is on the 1 minute. And in 8 minutes, we will be at the top of the hour, and we'll revisit the health of the bars as they tested the 812 EMA from the left side of the chart at 414.16. So if you guys are okay with me coming in and off of mic, enjoy the music. Thank you. All right, let's see if I can kind of slip into the groove here with this beautiful infinite music coming through. Hi, I'm BeautyBubble, and you are watching me in the center court of MxWhat 24/7 CrypTube. Thank you very much for stopping by. Make sure that you subscribe, that you share, and that you like the broadcast today, but of course only if you want to. Spend some time down below in all of the incredible information that really has provided down below in the description. Lots of links, and gives you a really good idea of what the outreach is all about, including contact information about all of the hosts that you see on the lovely layout. So today is the first time that we've put my paying live. I'm live over at my own channel. This is not a playlist. You're actually listening to me live, which is really, really cool. We also have a night bot that's been kind of filling in the chat tonight, which is also very cool. And any questions that you might have, make sure that you put them in the chat. Really does keep the chat open so that he can revisit, because we are in our 245th hour of broadcasting. So what you're kind of experiencing is a continuous cryptocurrency curated collaborative. It's really, really neat. And as you'll read in the Nightbot, it says if you want to be an MxWhat contributor, creator, or collaborator, definitely leave really a message. I know that he has an open Discord, and where guys get together and talk about what he's learned and what the direction of the channel potentially is. And we've had a couple of iterations of the channel out on YouTube. I think that there's a few, what's it called, archived channels, and then of course the live channel. Make sure that you bookmark it, because if for whatever reason the channel has to go down, and when he goes back up live, it'll always be with the MxWhat 24/7 CrypTube corner. What's a little bit different for me, of course, is that I have to remember that infinite can actually help with the, kind of the tone, right? It doesn't have to change my tone of voice, but at least it allows for me to know kind of, where I should direct the content. Of course, as we all know, if you were hanging out earlier, we are challenging ourselves to look at the 1 minute BTC USD Coinbase chart, as you can see. And we have some levels that the market is testing, keeps testing the 40, 14, 15 area. You'll see that. And, if we break through this, then you'll notice that we're able to count some ledges if that was indeed the bottom. Not the bottom, but one of the bottoms. And so we have ledge 1, ledge 2, ledge 3, and we can get as many as 4 or 5 ledges as this goes up. This is a very typical, it's called a fractal or a stepping pattern, laddering pattern. Let me see what else I can tell you. We just kind of have to let this kind of unfold and see. The heavier white line, of course, is the bottom, the resistance line of the broadening wedge. So that's always a threat to the shorts. Let me open up the chart just a little bit, though. We'll take a look at the hourly. Bigger chart. You can see what's happened. So even the candle before, this is a great recovery candle. Didn't take up all of the short, but it's a good recovery channel. I'm sorry. See, I'm trying to listen to myself, which is a bad idea. Don't listen to yourself, guys. If you ever do this thing live, don't even try and listen to yourself. And we'll go a little closer to the 30 minutes so that you guys can actually see. So we had an interesting doji in the 30 minute. This is why you have to go back and forth between the time frames. Very interesting. This is a graveyard doji of, I could probably get in there and tell you exactly what doji that is, but This pin bar could very well be the end of this waterfall effect. And so this is the breakout that gives us the ability to come back into the broadening wedge. Okay, now this is all very, pie in the sky kind of thinking right now. Of course, when you're drawing it out and you're trying to share it with people, it's also pie in the sky until it actually comes to a reality. So for now, what we'll talk about, these are projections, these are potential moves that could occur, is that it does come back into the broadening wedge. It fills in this entire area at each of these levels, the free market, the 51 EMA, the 96 EMA, the 243 EMA. It doesn't matter. Let me just run through these EMAs, and don't ask me too many questions about them right now. I'll tell you about them in a little bit. And so we might get snagged up at each and every one of these EMAs as we ladder up. We'll fill in the range, this entire broadening wedge range, but because of the way we know that the direction of this trade has been short since the ruby cross up here. The direction of the trade is still short. Look at the 243 EMA. The trade is still from the left to the right, traveling south. From the left to the right, traveling bear. So the trade itself, no matter what, no matter who you're speaking to, the trade is indeed bearish. So we now know that if you did purchase a position inside of here, that you bought a long position, if you bought coin, you bought a long position at a discount, but in a bear market. So actually, in a way, yes, you did get it at a discount for now, but we just don't know when the bear is going to resolve, turn into a bull, and then what are you going to do about it when that happens? That's very interesting. And this is where people struggle. They get into a short position, they can be in great profit, and they do not know how to exit out of the bear because it gets very greedy down here. There's a lot of money that can be made in a short because it happens so quickly. The longs can be very dragged out, and sometimes really difficult to manage a long, but I probably should have more water here. But this is possible, right? So if you got a great discount down here, it's possible this pin bar can support the move long, but that's why we're all together tonight, because tonight's moves are pretty interesting. They're emotional, they deal with fundamentals, news, how do people, different parts of the world, how they handle the news. Of course, every kind of technical analysis has been inside of this particular trade, especially since we went short up here. And so that's why I decided that I would go live. I haven't been live now for a couple of weeks. I walked away from some of the education that I was doing for baby pips. And but it just seemed right to come back and come live. And then the MxWhat channel is hosting, which is so cool. And I'm happy to be over here. It's fun. And so my channel is going really big, huh? Oh, there it is. Okay. All right, so I'll be back on mute. Enjoy the music. Okie dokie. All right, so let's remind you, since you're here over listening to the MxWhat, that you definitely want to check out my disclaimer down below on my own channel. It's a pretty deep disclaimer, actually. But what I want you to know well in advance is that this is just all for entertainment and educational purposes only. And, you know, trading is very risky, and you should always seek a financial planner before you get involved in any kind of trading outreach, okay? But since you've asked, there we go. All right, so we know that we're looking at a very close-in chart, right? Because we're in real time and we want to see more, you know, activity in the 1 minute. So what we'll do, first of all, is go ahead and we'll take a look at things in a bigger chart. All right, because Ruby is built on a 60-minute, what you would do is that you'd actually look at a much bigger chart, much bigger chart. But we'll just do this so that you can see. All right, so you take a look at the monthly chart. And you're going to see lots of my numbers here. And we'll open this up a little bit. This is a monthly chart of the BTC USD Coinbase pair. Okay, when it was released, December 2014, and all the months in between. That goldenrod line right there is a projection that I did in November of last year that took us to a price point that we eventually reached earlier this year. But these are all the candles in. You'll see the big bold line right here. This is just a very tight version of the broadening wedge. Okay, but we know the price, right? There's the 42.16, and we are below my free market line. So we are in a short territory, and that's where we got in, right? But there's the monthly chart, big chart, and lots of different things that you can do with the monthly chart. A lot of legacy traders, they'll hold on just a moment. I'm gonna go ahead and take that down, take the mumble down so I can listen to myself. There are legacy traders that will trade the very first candle of the first week of the year, sometimes even the day of the year, and they'll chart that out, and they will chart that out and keep trading off of those levels for the entire year. So I want you to be well aware that there's a monthly bar, big bars. Okay, we'll go a little tighter because I know that you're probably not trading the monthly bar to a week. And now we can start seeing some formation. And this is where it kind of gets interesting. We actually see formation. There's a ledge. Remember when I said about the ledges? There's a ledge. There's a ledge. Exponential growth, a ledge. Exponential growth, and now we're in the beginning of another ledge. It's the weekly bar. A little closer in to the daily bar. And now we can also see now a lot more activity in the charts. We have highs, we have retracements, we have advancements, we have ledges, we have super tops, we have rejections, we have going for the super highs. And now, of course, we can see now better, I hope you can see this, is that we are well off of the top. Okay, but we are not in a double bottom. A double bottom would be maybe down even this low, which would be somewhere around 35.80, a little higher than that, 35.90. So you can see that the potential of this trade moving even further down is pretty drastic, right? Because a double bottom is a traditional place for a bar to land. But we're not going to get all nutty about that. These are daily bars. Each of these bars represents the open, the high, the low, and the close in the pricing of the bar. Okay? And then through my big pips when I've been doing that, it's all categorized, and you can learn about how to actually read the bar. And we're going to get a little closer in now. We'll go to the 4 hour. It's a very traditional bar. You'll often hear about the 4 hour if you're ever hanging around Forex traders. They have a tendency to look at the 4 hour bars to gauge where the Forex market is trading. So that's a 4 hour bar. Now we can see better that for every 4 hours, we had that recent high, we had a pullback, we had a reattempt. That reattempt failed. And of course, we got this massive bar down, and we have been short since then, with the exception of this little teeny tiny area here that created this broadening wedge. This little teeny tiny area. All right, so we still know we own. We're trying to figure out, well, when are we supposed to think about getting out? So I'm going to go to the 1 hour, and there's your bar, right? Because we're at now 122. We're 22 minutes into this bar right here. 22 minutes. We have 37 minutes and 39 seconds left in this bar. So we don't talk about, you know, how many contracts you bought or position size. If you wanted to share the entry price that you got in, then I can showcase, or we'll just mark it off when I get a little tighter in. We'll just do some, go ahead and go into the 15-minute bar. So let's say that you got fortunate and you found yourself in this bar somewhere. It's kind of like, okay, now what do I do? I got in at a great price, right? So I just want you to be aware that if you carried price up to here, your return would be 2.76%. Brand new, a 2% win, that's a decent win. When you're just trying to get in and you're just trying to, you know, feel yourself out, 2%. That's in the trade, by the way, if you were able to get in at the low. It's called the catfish play down here. And that's pretty good, 2-3%. That's, you know, it's in the middle of the night. We really don't know what's going to happen. And then we just move our way up. Next line would be the bottom end of the broadening wedge. That's now 4%, 4.23%. That's an excellent trade. In any, I could take you to the legacy market and we could try and look for 4% moves. Of course, that's on a full session. We're not in a full session. You've only been in the trade for less than 2 hours. So we've got a lot of hours left, but you know, you don't want to lose anything either. But now that we've got this mapped out, so now you know what 4% looks like. And I gave you what 2% looks like, which is right here. 2-3%, right in there. Now let's keep going. I mean, what do you like? I can tell you that even if we came to free market, that's an 8% move. That is an excellent trade to get the catfish bottom and play the range. The breakout, we're inside of the broadening wedge and we've taken it to free market to 8%. That is a beautiful trade. So any of those, the 2-3%, great. The 4%, fantastic. 8%, these are marvelous trades. Marvelous, marvelous, marvelous. So no one can argue with that. This is where people go kind of wrong. They don't know. They have no idea. That's $312.29 a full contract, per contract win. And so, you know, it's all about relating things and being honest with yourself to what the move, you know, can do. So let me see if that kind of helps you navigate a little bit. Where are we? We're over at relays. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so you got in at 39.88. All right. So you can kind of pattern it out yourself. We have a risk with this particular trade though, because remember when I said that you got in long in the constitution of the trade right now is short. Okay, so the bears rule the roost entirely, because the way that this trade is formed right now is that they're shaking out loose hands, like has is said. A lot of tenured traders would say they're shaking out the loose hands. This is why when you first go in on a catfish play like that, you don't go full balls to the wall. You just kind of test the waters, because the likelihood that this trade is going to go to a level and people won't get out, the bears will come in at that price and they will literally just yank your hair out if you're long. So there's tons of material out there about how to calculate what a good win is. Green on the screen is fabulous. What you want to be able to do is manage your trade after you have green on the screen. You do not want red on the screen unless you know exactly and precisely what you're doing, because there will be times where the trade will pull back, and then you'll get an opportunity to add more to your long with the presumption that the trade is going to reverse. But we don't know how long that might be. In cryptocurrency, it can be 10 hours. It can be a couple of days for this thing to resolve itself to then turn around and advance. You'll hear a lot of positive talk that the trade is going to go, to 4,000, 5,000. There's a fellow out there that's calling for 13,000 in the next month or so. So when we're looking at the value right now, it's like, dude, man, you got it at a great price, and you're just going to watch the trade unfold. So it's not necessarily about profit taking, it's about being in the trade so that you can follow the trade, so that you can have experience with the trade. Not experience with trading, experience with having your money in those candles. You have more experience with those candles and deal with your emotion around those candles, then you'll be better off. And that's why you go very small when you're just starting out, very small. I'm also a huge proponent of, the paper trade and journaling your trades. And you'll hear this from other traders too, that it's okay to have what they say, some skin in the game, because it keeps you connected with the charts and keeps you connected to price. You'll never forget it, by the way, if you're actually physically in the trade. But it's quite all right to follow the trade under under serious a serious attitude, and you do your proper paper trading. So I hope that helps. Use your tools. None of us can trade for one another, and but that's one way that you could take a look at it. And in a couple of days, you might have some other questions, and then I can show you, different ways of looking at it. But trade management is a huge, it's an art form, and getting in is really, anybody at the rodeo can get in, but it is about managing. So does that help? Hope it does. Hope it does. Yeah, and a lot of it too is, don't, like, just do learning. Do your work. None of this is easy. You're not going to learn it from just one person. The trade involves so many, it's an unregulated trade. So you have that, and that's no fun. And, you're going to have where the exchanges go down or they circuit break, and you'll freak out, and there'll be lots of things that you have to go through, and everybody goes through them. Nobody, you'll never run across someone who has not either heard of, some raucous situation or gone through it themselves. So, oh yeah, we're cool. I can say this all again too, and then it'll be on my channel. So once I go dark and I put it in the can, it'll be on my channel too. So if you look and see how long we've been on, then I can put a timestamp when I talked about it. Okay, so no problem. Okie dokes. So just take it easy. Take it easy. All right, let me get to my, oh no. Oh, I did this again. You know what I did, guys? Oh. You know what I did? I made my window too big. I've done this before, and the only way that I can get out of it is to stop the broadcast. So that's what I'll do. Thank you very, very much. Really knows how much I appreciate for him putting me in center court tonight. I hope that you've enjoyed it. I certainly have. And we'll just see what this trade does and how it unfolds, and I'm pretty sure that you'll probably hear from me tomorrow. So just leave a chat message. Sometimes if I come in really, might be able to say so-and-so reached out or what have you. And there we go. There's greatness and goodness in all of us. Thank you very much. I appreciate you beyond measure. I certainly do. Make sure that you follow, subscribe, get notified, like, and share. I think that those are all the things that I'm supposed to ask you to do, but only if you want to. Bye-bye now.